All right, so this is my first video after the disastrous election results for the Democrats. Things didn't go as planned, eh? Wow, what a disaster! An absolute epic failure on most, if not all, fronts. Uh, I think, yeah, they lost the Senate. They're probably going to lose the House. There's probably like a 10% chance they might get a 1 seat majority in the House. Just an epic disaster for the Democratic Party overall. Um, and now the time is to do an autopsy on this political body that is now dead. Okay. The Democratic Party is dead. Okay. They have now lost to Trump twice, and they beat him one time by 40,000 votes. These results are not acceptable in the least. To lose to such an unbelievable fascist buffoon like Donald Trump is an indictment upon the Democratic Party as a whole. For those of you who are new to this channel, I don't voter shame. These people who voted for this guy have their reasons. I'm not saying they're valid. I'm saying they have their reasons and they're allowed to. And it's up to the Democrats and their leadership to find ways to beat these people in elections. And they have failed at doing that. So my ire, my infinite disdain is not at the voters. It's with Democratic leadership primarily and their strategies. We see that Donald Trump mopped up the working class vote. You know, back in 2016, there was this guy, name of Bernard Sanders, who, when Trump came to power or came to prominence, we had a shot at a progressive populist revolution in the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party said no in 2016. Hillary had her people, give the delegates to her. It was all set up. She was supposed to be queen. It was a total rigged primary, right? 2020 comes around, Bernie's in our movement. It's like, yep, we're going to do this again. We don't care what happened in 2016. We know the working class needs a hero. We know we need Bernie Sanders to lead this party to victory. And, he won the first 3 states in the 2020 primary. And then when Biden won the 4th state, that was the time when Barack Obama made his phone calls behind the scenes and promised everybody on stage there, Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and all these other Democrats that, there's going to be something in it for them if you go ahead, drop out, and coalesce around Biden. And that's what happened. Our movement was crushed. So they crushed our movement in 2 consecutive elections, right? And that was when I knew the road to perdition, the road to political perdition was set. That there isn't going to be a progressive, pro-democratic revolution in America. There's going to be a fascist revolution in this country because of what happened to Bernie Sanders. And the chickens have come home to roost, my friends. I know you don't want to hear this. I know everything's painful right now, and you're looking for to be consoled, and I understand that. And please go find that. You're not going to find that here with me. I'm only going to give you the clear, unbridled truth. What has happened to the Democratic Party and what could have been if they let Bernie Sanders merge our progressive movement with establishment liberals. Because as a united front, we could have crushed Trump. And they were like, nah, Bernie, go back to the end of the line. Go get your movement out of here. We don't need you. We don't need working class people to win. We don't need you. And that populist energy that Bernie built up, it dissipated. But it didn't die altogether. It was mopped up by a fake, rogue, populist autocrat by the name of Donald Trump, who mopped up the working class vote in this election and took what Bernie tried to build and added it to his coalition instead. And they bought it. And they're going to pay for it. It's going to be bad, and they're going to pay for it. But it happened anyways. They elected him because people are so fed up. 6 out of 10 Americans work paycheck to paycheck, and they are fed up with the Democratic establishment not offering enough to working class voters. So they're willing to take a bet on one of the worst political candidates in literal U.S. history to get their needs met, their material needs. And it's not going to happen. It can't happen because billionaires only absorb capital. They don't dish it out. Your best chance is a Democratic front that sees the needs of the people and does it that way. You're not going to get it from a billionaire. I mean, I can tell that 900 times a day and it'll never take. I get that. I understand the ignorance in this country. But Democrats know better, and they shunned a progressive democratic revolution when capitalism was dying on the vine for all of us to see, and they let the fascists steal the bag. I got so much shit over the years. Being a hardcore Bernie-crat. Just the most disparaging rhetoric that liberals threw at me. Just saying that, like, basically, get out of here. We don't want you. We don't need you. We don't like you. We don't care about working class people. Chickens came home to roost. Now what? The Democratic Party, from top to bottom, needs hollowed out. The leadership. You're not going to win votes warming up to Dick Cheney and warmongers and people making over $100,000 a year. Okay? You need working class people, the people who are making $40,000 or less, the 6 out of 10 Americans working paycheck to paycheck who can't pay the rent, who cannot afford college, who cannot afford grocery bills. They're going to go anywhere but where the Democrats are, because they haven't been there. They just haven't done enough. They've done things, they haven't done enough. And it's so little, people are willing to go to the Republicans and they're fake populists. That's how bad the Democrats are at the core of the establishment. I'm talking about leadership. I'm talking about the people at the top. The fish rots from the head down. Remember that. So we're going to be taking a lot of examination here on this channel over the next 4 years. I want to be a consoling person, but I'm so angry right now because I've seen this coming for so long that I'm not surprised. I'm very disappointed that Harris lost, but I am not surprised. After what we have lived through, what I have personally experienced, what this country collectively experienced when that party condemned Bernie Sanders, I knew in my heart The road to perdition was set. And lo and behold, what is on the horizon? It's going to get bad before it's going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. And we have to be there. And you can't check out. Not now, not ever.